Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be diving deeper into what caused the motor to lock up. So let's get into today's video. As you guys can see, we have the heads off. There's no scoring on any of the pistons. There's no scoring on any of the cylinder walls. And all of the pistons come up to the top, like how this piston is up to the top. So that leaves me puzzled again on what could have this thing locking at a certain point. So I'm going to continue to tear this down and take it out, but give you a look at the heads. None of the gaskets were blown, no cuts in the gaskets, no off timing with the cams. Let me roll this over. No marks on the bottom. This mark here was made as I was pulling it out, but no marks on the bottom. No bent valves, nothing like that. Same thing on this side. No gasket tear, no bent valves. Everything pretty good. So with that being said, that actually leads me to believe that we have a bearing that is like torn and probably spun out and jamming the motor at a certain point. I'm hoping that's what it is, so that I can drop the oil pan, change the bearings, and slap this thing back together. So I have to continue tearing this thing down so I can pull it out and check it further. The hell going on with my hair? Anyhow, all right guys, have the motor on the ground, took the gearbox off of it, and now it's time to flip it over, take off the oil pan, and see, or basically determine if we're going to be keeping the motor or rebuilding it, or just buying a whole new one. So I'm going to flip it over now and check it. so took the oil pan off. Just took a brief look in the motor, but let me see if I could get a good look. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is literally grime and metal shavings. All of this, the whole entire oil pan is coated with metal shavings, which means something is broke. Could be the bearings for the crank, could be the bearings for the connecting rods, or could be something's bent or broken. See that? Metal shavings right on the pickup. Okay, so I'm going to continue tearing this thing down and probably start removing the bearing caps and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Alright, just want to update you guys before I call it quits for the day. Sun's going down. Got a lot done. I just pulled 2 pistons. I don't know which number this is, but pulled that one and I pulled that one. I pulled them pretty far apart, 2 pistons apart from each other, just to check to see what the difference would be. This piston, the second piston that I pulled out, that came out as the rod is not scored, it's not bent. All the piston rings are free. The bearings came out, but these are toasted for sure. These are spun. You can see that. Lots of shavings on it, and it's like a lot of, if you look closely, let me see if you can get that. If you look, you see that rough edge? That's metal just shaving off. Same thing with this one. A lot of rough grooves. You can actually see that one. Yeah, so that one's, but it actually came out and the bearing came out with it. This piston, the one that came out of this hole, the bearing doesn't want to let go. These are not scored. I could definitely use these rods and pistons again, but this is the little sucker that made me tear apart this whole engine, which is the connecting rod bearing that is seized onto the crank. So this is what was causing the binding issue, and I'm going to take out the rest of these and most likely take the crank out, because it doesn't make any sense going this far without changing all the bearings, main and connecting rod. Alright guys, so I pulled all the pistons and rods, but I really need you guys' help. All the pistons and rods look so good. So look, straight rod, no bent pistons, no messed up pistons. There's 4 good ones. Like, I'm trying to figure out now, like, this is the 5th good one, the 6th good one, the 7th good one. Oh my god. Yeah, that one's good. It's just bent for style. Yeah, so this is the star of the show. Let me put it right next to a good one so you guys can see why I call it the star of the show. Straight rod, bent rod. Straight rod, bent rod. And also, the piston got chewed up, cracked up at the bottom. So yeah, this piston and this rod is messed up. These are the bearings from that piston and rod, completely chewed. Yeah, not good at all. So yeah, that is our problem. Bent rod, broken piston, and just basically got to change all the bearings. So I don't know, it seems like it would be quite easy to just change all the bearings now that the motor is out, and change this rod and this piston. But I want to see how cost effective that is, because I could get a motor pretty cheap. So a 2-valve motor, not a 4-valve. I don't know. Well, I'm going to continue tearing this thing down. I want to get the crank out, and then go from there. Alright, so it's been a super long day. Got a lot done. Not sure if we're gonna go new motor, 2-valve, or just change the one bent rod and the damaged piston, and just get a set of crank bearings and rod bearings, that's an option. Really not sure. Just got done doing a lot of work today. I want to eat, want to sleep, and then I'll try to figure out what I want to do tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.